Okay, welcome to Paint Jam 2024. Wow. And it's 20. Okay, sorry. I forgot to say 24-hour Paint Jam and just realized it's 2024 for the 24-hour Paint Jam. That's some kind of numerology or something, isn't it? My name is Whitney Freya. Thank you for joining us. Those of you new to this circle, so excited you are here. It's all smoky in my studio because I was burning sage and calling in the directions and just receiving how we've got a full moon today, and pretty sure the sun was up. I think I looked at my phone around like 3:50, or it was still 3 something, and the sun was coming up. So we've got more light than probably any other day of the year. And how symbolic is that? Because this painting practice that we're going to share today and explore from so many different angles is one that so many of us have found illuminating and has helped guide us on our path, because ultimately it's about remembering that we're creating the art that is our lives in each and every moment. It's not about a product or technique or skill as much as our nature, our inner nature to express ourselves. And so we are going to play first and foremost today, everyone. So if you're not into playing, having fun, then this is not the 24-hour Paint Jam from you. Oh, we got London and Germany. So exciting. I want to just share a little bit about my journey. And for those of you new, it was almost exactly 28 years ago that I opened my art center. It was called the Creative Fitness Center in Nashville, Tennessee. I was 26 years old, which it struck me today that my oldest turns 25 in September. So I almost have children as old as I was when I opened the art center. I had zero art training. I still have zero formal art training. I opened it because I was passionate about creating a life that would light me up. And I read in a book, Zen in the Art of Making a Living, that unless we adopt an artist mentality, the author says, you won't be able to create the life of your dreams. Well, I had been such an out loud wannabe artist that I was like, as soon as I read that, there was this deep inner knowing. And then it was like, why is it so hard to get into an art class? Or where does one go to learn this artist mentality? I was fresh out of college, and like in college, to take what I thought I could handle, maybe the mixed media collage, you had to take drawing 101, 102, painting 101, 102. And I was just, well, I can't do that. So, it was not available to me until I read those words. And in the margins of the book, which my middle daughter carries around with her everywhere, I wrote, like, maybe I could open a kids art center, because I'm like, you don't need to know how to draw to teach kids, right? So if any of you feel like I'm not really good at painting or drawing, you are in the right place. Maybe you are an artist, you've sell your work and you've been painting for years, but you want to loosen up, you want to change or find a new direction. And that's what this painting practice and today will offer. For others of us, it's going to create a container for a whole new beginning. And that's my intention personally, is to allow this time and space, this immensely creative space, for me personally to create a new beginning, and for all of us to create like this new wave of creative confidence, creative spirit on this planet. We need it now more than anything. Thank you, Heather. I think we're on it. The name of the book was Zen and the Art of Making a Living by Lawrence G. Bolt. I've actually spoken on the phone with him, and that was so long ago that we actually just spoke on the phone, and told him, like, my whole life changed when I read that sentence in his book. So today, I don't know if you're watching the replay, however long you take to do this, but the invitation is to paint with us for 24 hours. Maybe you paint with us for 6 hours. It's all good. There are no have-tos here. Every 2 hours, so 6, 8, 10, all the even hours, we will have a creatively fit coach or two come on to lead a painting workshop. Those painting workshops are invitations to either follow along exactly, or perhaps you're painting something on your own, or you're still painting the painting from before. It's all good. If you purchase the replays, you can always go back. So allow the workshops to be prompts. First and foremost, we're excited to share this community with you, to share a space where you don't have to worry about messing up or making a mistake. Anything you create is fabulous because it's coming through you. And one of the invitations today, that's always the invitation, is to allow your painting practice, the canvas, the art journal, whatever it is you're painting on, probably paint on a little bit of everything by the end of the 24 hours, right? To allow that to be a mirror, to allow your painting practice to provide a space to show you where you are getting excited, where perhaps you get stuck, meet up with the resistance, the inner critic. Because what we know to be true is that the way you do anything is the way we do everything, which means we can be the change we want to see in the world just while we paint at the canvas. So if it's finding a deeper source of inner peace in your life, you can do that today at the canvas, and then notice where you get out of that inner peace, right? Where you start to feel discordance or some sort of anxiety. We all have creative wounds. This practice triggers memories. And this is a safe container within which to really look at it and just open to receive. And you can imagine, and I'm feeling called to put my hand on my heart, maybe a meditation is coming through. Those of us who are up early, and I think we're awake now, right? So it'll be later. We won't do too many meditations later so we don't fall asleep. But allow this today to really develop this inner witness. And you can imagine like all the colors on your palette. So I don't have paint on yet, but here's some sacred ancient paint. This meat tray weighs like 10 pounds. But just imagine that any experience that you would have today is like a color on this palette. Is any color better or worse than the other? They're all necessary to create the art that we put on the canvas, symbolically, the art that is our life. There is no color that is wrong or bad or shouldn't be there, right? Just like any emotions or feelings or memories that come up, they're all welcome on this palette. And they're probably coming to the surface of your awareness to be seen and to be transmuted into creative power. In my workshop, we're going to go through the 7 laws of the universe, and we will explore that more then. But for now, let's get started, shall we? Oh, stretch if you need to, if you haven't already this morning. We're going to move in this 24 hours. We have an ecstatic dance section combined with the painting. There's so many fun things we're going to do. You're going to be delighted, I'm sure. I know I will be, at all the different perspectives that the different creatively fit coaches are going to bring to us. I will be here the entire time. And the first creatively fit coach I want to introduce you to is Kim Sales. Kim, let me see. I'm going to bring you on here. There we go. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hello. Kim is a creatively fit coach. She's also my right-hand goddess, helps me with all the things. Her art always blows me away, as well as her heart. And we're going to paint a mandala. Our workshops, so I called Kim the other morning or texted her because I had woken up at 6 to go use the restroom, and I was so fuzzy, and I was like, oh geez, I don't want to teach right away at 6. So I'm like, Kim, will you go first? And then I'll go second. But our workshops are going to really kind of blend and meld really nicely together. So good morning in Minnesota. Kim, how are you?
I am fabulous. How are you? It's so wonderful to see all your beautiful faces. Look at you. Good morning. Good evening. Dang, woo! Super jazzed to be here. Thank you, Whitney, for that beautiful, beautiful entry. Yeah, we're going to be grooving and jiving together, Whitney and I. We're going to be talking symbols and mandalas. And what a perfect way to start this amazing sacred container for all of us is with a sacred circle or a mandala, right? Or mandala, however you pronounce it, is totally fine. There are no rules, right? If there are, we're going to break them. Telling you that right now. So yeah, so I'm Kim Sales. I'm an artist, creative muse, I got a creatively fit coach for those of you who aren't familiar with me, and all the fabulous coaches who will be teaching today with Whitney. And today in this 24-hour paint jam, we're going to set our intentions in the form of the beautiful symbolic mandala. And for those of you who aren't familiar with mandalas, I'll just do a little brief introduction. Mandala means circle and is used in many cultures as a creative modality for meditation, healing, and connection, which is the perfect way to start the day, right? So I invite you today to create your personal mandala with your favorite colors, right? No colors are wrong, and symbols. And if you read the intro to my workshop, I asked you to come prepared with 5 symbols. If you didn't do that, it's not a problem, right? They're going to come. Do you like flowers? Do you want to deal or, really work with the strawberry moon, which is going to be today, right? The full moon. Whatever it is that you're feeling today and right now, use those symbols. And I'll give you an example. And if you're new to intentional creativity, you can just follow along with me, right? There are no rules. We're going to be super easy breezy and bring that wonderful creative energy of that creative circle together. And all of the mandalas you create will be uniquely you. So everyone's mandala is going to be different. That's the magical part of mandalas. I just absolutely love that. So I'm going to set an intention for the circle here. And my intention for the container is, and this powerful journey of creativity today is community, connection, celebrating love, and the beauty of the summer or winter solstice for all of us creating under the energy of this beautiful strawberry moon in Capricorn. So, the symbols I'll be using today are the B for community and connection, the spiral for energy and connection, right? That spiraling energy. It's you can spiral it in or spiral it out. That energy can fill you up and you can also release with that beautiful energy. Okay. We're going to use the heart because that is a beautiful symbol for love, for connection. Also, too, when you're feeling resistance, it's a wonderful reminder to love yourself and be gentle with yourself and give yourself some gentle, gentle care. And then in the beauty of the summer solstice, I'm going to be putting a lovely flower, right? Because flowers remind me of spring and abundance and everything that's blooming here in this hemisphere. And if you're in with a winter solstice is that started, then use a leaf or something that may resonate with you in that region of the globe. And then also too the moon, right? Of course, because we are in a full strawberry moon, so we'll be adding that. So a circle, right? A circle on the mandala. And we can make this a nice, simple, you can be gestural, you can make it, just basic shapes, whatever you're feeling, right? Just kind of feel into it and let's just get started, okay? I'm gonna walk you through a lovely step-by-step process. And Whitney, feel free to chime in whenever you like, because we're gonna be talking symbols and all things that are wonderful, right? And bring us that lovely, juicy energy. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to change the view on my camera right now. So let's just get this going here. All right, let's see. Now, can you see that, everybody? Yeah, okay, perfect. So what you see before you right now is a mandala that I created with some of my sacred symbol coaches and my certification. And this is a lovely thing that I like to do with each of my coaches. And you can tell that this is not a mandala that I was worried about. Is it perfect? Is all the art? And it's absolutely just what came through in that moment. So, and I thought it was a great example, especially for today, because we've got little turtles here. That day I was feeling that I really wanted to go feel that energy of the turtle and the 13 sections, which represent the 13 moons, right? The turtle is a wonderful symbol of energy that you can, bring your house with you on your back. right? Travel at your own pace. And I was really feeling that need to go ahead and do that on that particular day. And then I started with the daisy in the middle, right? A beautiful symbol of energy and just growth. Then the eyes came up, right? I have these really kind of funky eyeball flying. They almost look like rocket ships, but I wanted that intensity there. And I just, started with some basic color that I liked, that I was feeling that day. So it's all about whatever you're feeling, how you're grooving. So I'm going to go ahead and you can start with a canvas. As you can see, Whitney painting, she's starting on a canvas that she'd already pre-painted on. So you can use those yummy colors as well for a nice background. Or like me, you can start from the beginning. So I'm going to start using an unstretched canvas here.
Hey,
And
Kim,
yeah.
can I interrupt real quick? This is Jen. You're not highlighted on my screen.
Oh,
So I know that we had talked about trying to make that happen for people. I just wanted to let you know.
thank you. All right. Let's see. So when I speak, am I highlighted? And I'm talking now. Hello, hello. Can you see me?
I can see you, but you're one of the.
I
Oops.
had to I had to change the settings on my thing to get Kim to come up. So
Go in
The
her
word
box.
is spotlight. If
there
Go
you
in her
go.
box and hit pin.
whoever's the host, if they spotlight her, it will be spotlighted for everyone, or everyone can just pin her.
There.
Okay, so I'm just going to wait a couple seconds here till we dial this all in. The host has spotlighted your video for everyone. All right. Woohoo. Thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate that. As we roll, we love to get input, especially if you want to be able to see what we're doing. Okay, so I think everyone, we are ready to start. Here is our canvas. And so what I want you to do right now is I'm going to start by just, taking, this is a watercolor pencil. I know you could have graphite. You could do this with anything that a paintbrush, whatever you have, a pen, it doesn't matter, right? I'm going to just put down the symbols that I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to kind of draw them so I can see them. And then I'm going to create some energetic ley lines. So what I mean by that is just providing some beautiful structure for our mandalas. So I'm going to, I'm not going to do it in any particular way. I'm just going to add them on here just to kind of get that energy going. Right? A little bee. I'm going to do a happy little bee here. Just to remind me of the symbols that I'm working with. And in drawing these symbols, you're setting an intention, right? Because we've infused each symbol with the meaning. What these symbols mean to you, right? What is in your heart? So as I talked about community. For the bee, love. For the heart, growth, connection, and of course, creativity, right? Okay, so this is just going to be a nice reminder, and then I've got my moon. So I just wanted to get some of those down there just so I could get that energy moving onto my canvas. And I haven't even started with paint yet, and that's totally fine. You can do this even with the pen and paper if you didn't have paint handy. So now what I'd like to do is create some ley lines. And what I mean by ley lines is I want to give myself a nice structure to start with the mandala. So you can use a ruler, or you don't have to. You can do it totally freehand. Again, there are no rules, there are no regs. I'm going to just gently create from corner to corner if you have a square. And if you don't, fine. Just draw a line in the center of your paper.
My sound has gone off. I can't hear you. Kimberly, you're muted.
I agree.
I can't hear her either.
All
But
right.
she wasn't talking at the moment, so
Oh, she was just gesturing. Okay.
Yeah, I was just gesturing at that moment. So what I'm going to do now is it's going to start with some paint. So if you missed that, can you hear me now, everybody? Yep.
yep.
Thank you, Whitney. So what I'm going to do now is just start with some colors. I've got some warm colors, some cool colors, the white in the middle, a black, and a purple. So I just picked my favorite colors, right? So you pick your favorite colors, and we're going to cover the canvas. And what I wanted to remind you is when we're thinking about paint drying, you might want to use a dry brush technique or have a blow dryer handy so you can dry your first layer. All right, well, I'm just going to get busy. And I'm just going to start throwing down some color. And I'm not going to worry about, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to mix it right on the canvas. Ooh, I love that with the magenta and the purple. I love that feeling. And of course, you know me, I'm going in the, the spirals just coming through, that spiraling energy for all of us around the globe, right? We get into a little yellow. Ooh. And I'm just going to keep circling this color around the canvas. I'm keeping it pretty dry so I can dry my canvas quickly. And that, of course, you go at your own pace. But since I am here teaching and helping and guiding you today, I wanted to make sure that my layers will dry a little bit. And sometimes too, that wet layer, if you do have one, I love how the colors just meld together, right? It's an automatic blending, a unity and a blending of all that beautiful color. So let's just work on getting this first layer of our yummy mandala color down. Let's see, what do I want now? I think I'll try that. Ooh, deep purple. And all the colors you choose have energy and meaning, right? And it's what the color means to you. I like to always stress that colors are individual, right? We associate cool colors with like water or air, and we associate warm colors with sun and you know, the heat. But whatever it means to you, right? There are no right or wrong. To me, I just love an absolute explosion of color. It just fills my day and makes me bright and happy. No better way to start a day than with painting, in my opinion. Let me get a little orange in there
And I
too.
love how as you paint the first layer, like I'm seeing this my favorite kind of starburst shape. And
Yeah.
I've had people say to me, like, I'm always painting the same shapes. It's like, well, maybe that's your shape. You
Yeah.
know, like this, what comes through is information and following what feels the yummiest as opposed to what, you know, maybe you feel like you should be doing.
Right.
Sometimes I start feeling color, right?
Mm.
Like it's like, ooh, that feels really good. Like I have this visceral reaction. We can all kind of receive color in different ways than just visual.
Yeah. And I love, you know, I like this. I just want to dive in. I just want to dive into that mandala right now. Just the basic colors, right? It just makes me happy. And that, you know, the circle, right? Oh.
You can also pay attention the colors that feel the yummiest. Like I still just putting this yellow down. And then I think of yellow being third chakra, you know, and your kind of strength and will and how you show up in the world. And makes sense that I might want a bit of a yellow bath right now. So color is very symbolic as well.
Absolutely.
I haven't totally followed the really light. This has some texture to it. It's going to have to dry.
All right.
Just so you all.
I'm just going to take a peek here, look at everyone and see how we're going through. Yeah, look at that. Fun, 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 fun.
Oh, those colors feel so good, Kim.
They do. They're beautiful. Ah, I love it. Yeah. So I love that Whitney has got that beautiful star shape, right? She's got that emanating energy from the center, from her heart center. And I've got that sort of swirling energy towards the heart center. So I just think it's so wonderful how different people just experience the backgrounds in different ways. Just this first yummy layer, right? There, we're just absolutely just letting our feelings out, the colors we like. There is absolutely zero tension, right? I want you to just feel into that, right? Kind of scan your body and see where you're feeling any tension. Maybe move in your chair while you're painting, right? Let it go. Ugh. Just kind of rock into it, go with that energy, move with the energy, and paint in the direction that's calling to you right now. I was feeling swirls. Whitney's feeling beautiful stars. All right, I'm going to mute myself quickly just because I don't want to blast everybody with my blow dryer. And I'm going to go ahead and just start blow drying my first layer just to get that a little drier, okay? So feel free to, blow dry if you have one or not.
I can offer some mandala energy while Kim is blow drying. I have a super big gong over here. It's a big old mandala. And let's let the gong. So this gong is tuned to vibrate at the same frequency of the orbiting Earth. So if you happen to be out in space and you heard the Earth go by, this is what it might sound like, which feels super appropriate for today, right? With all of our full moon solstice energy. So I'm going to adjust the sound. I shouldn't have to bring the computer much closer. Okay.
Whitney. Whitney, you have to change your voice or your sound settings on your computer so we can hear it.
Why does it say not able to, unable to start? I didn't do that. Let's see. It's on. I wonder if I have to well,
I turned it on my screen and I think it's on for all. Dawn, could you confirm?
Couldn't hear it.
well, okay. Well, it came through. It's
It's
going
there.
through. Yeah, it's not letting me so it's unable to start live performance audio. Well, we gotta love the Zoom, the green shield in the top left corner. Yeah. The green shield.
I have it on mine, Whitney.
Yeah.
The green shield. And
Okay.
I've got, it says original sound on for music. So why don't you go ahead and try it and we'll see if it's working on your end and I'll let you know.
Okay.
It says it's on here.
Yeah, it should be. Interesting. Every day is a new. Can you hear it?
No.
Be the gong.
I'll be the gong. Wong, wong. Well, here.
It might have to do with who's hosting right now. If Kim is the host.
Yeah, I'm the host. I'm the hostess with the mostest, but it.
I would like to mention that the emails I received today don't have the correct a Zoom link that I had to go back to your previous emails in the last days.
Thank you.
I can do a little bit on the singing bowl. You can tell me if you can hear that.
Yeah,
Whitney.
yeah, do that.
Let's see, because we want to get that vibration, that energy of the planet, right? And this is a lower sounding Tibetan singing bowl. We hearing that?
Yes, we can hear it, Kim.
Thank you. Just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out while you're painting. Feel that yummy energy. Let the vibration of the singing bowl infuse your space and infuse your mandala with your intentions for the day to create with us for 24 hours. Oh, I love that. Sound does propagate in space. It's a vacuum. Just go with it. Now that we have energized the airwaves with some beautiful, beautiful music, right? Oh, glad you enjoyed that. I can play it anytime today if you like. And night, wherever you are on the planet. All right, how are we coming on our first layer here? Look at the gallery view. Look at these beautiful colors. I love peeking around. That's part of this fun, sharing that collective energy of all of us as we paint together. And for all of you watching the replay, right? Just soak that in. Energy just changes, right? It's always there. It's always with us. Oh, those are beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Hope I can see yours. Right in the center of my screen. It's lovely. As we keep painting and as we keep creating and building layers of energy and intention with our mandalas, I'd like to invite you now to think about your intention, right? What is your symbolic intention for your mandala? What symbols are you going to be using, or what symbols have you chosen that have come to you, right? What meaning do you have for each one? Like when I use the bee for community, maybe you're using the turtle, right? To go at your own pace. Whatever symbols you're going to use, we're going to start now doing the next layer, which will be our outline. And so I just want you to think about which symbol you want to go first into your center, into your heart center of your mandala. I will be placing the daisy or a flower because I think that's just a beautiful way to start that energy rolling. Whatever you choose is entirely up to you, right? It's your symbol, it's your mandala, it's your unique energy. that we are sharing collectively around the globe. That is such magic. Ah, I love that. All right, so we're going to go back here. Now, let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to take a simple round brush. Because I've got such bright color on my background right now, I'm going to use, I'm feeling light energy. So I'm going to use a white to draw and kind of flesh in and fill in my ley lines. And then also too, start with my first layer. And I'm not worried about being precise. Remember, we can paint over anything that doesn't feel right to us or serve us. And we can just have fun and feel a moment. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of draw over some of those lines, freehand, of course. I'm not worried. This is the process. I just want to feel that energy. So now that beautiful star shape that Whitney has had all along on her mandala is now surfacing and coming to the forefront on mine. You can choose to do this or not to do this step. For me, I'd like it as a nice foundation of where I'll be laying down my symbols. Okay, I'm looking for a spot. Good spot to put my paint. There we go. All right. So the first symbol I'll be laying down is that daisy. I'm feeling daisy. I'm feeling white daisy, so I'm just going to go right ahead. And I'm going to push down with my round brush and then pull up into the center, just making a nice big petal. And I'm going to follow those ley lines just the way they are. Some petals will be longer, some will be shorter. That's just fine. It's just the feeling. And it's the feeling of the brush on your mandala, the brush in the paint, the brush on the canvas, right? Just that pulling and pulling and pushing of the paint. Releases. There we go. I have a nice little daisy there. I'm going to go ahead. Once you have your first symbol in the center, your heart center symbol for your mandala, take your time. You can watch the replay. Okay, now I'm going to draw some happy little bees for a community. And what better way to start than the bees hovering around that beautiful symbol or the flower. So here I want just to give myself a little outline. I think the bees are going to cozy up right in these gaps. I'm feeling that. So I think we're going to put their little heads right here. A happy little bee butt, right? Right there, and some wings. And this is just our outline. I want to make sure that I let some of that beautiful color show through, so I'm not worried about if it's perfection. I'm not after perfection. I'm after the feeling, right? I'm after the energy of the bee, the community it creates. And another thing I love about the bee symbol is they dance, right? They dance to talk to each other. They dance to communicate. And I think that the joy we get through creativity and all of the wonderful feelings that come up, whether they are light or a little shadow, are important and should be honored. And that community, you can just dance with it, right? Dance in the energy, dance together. So my little dancing bees are going in. And I'm just doing very light brush strokes, and they're not all the same size. Nothing's perfect, but I'm really kind of digging that sort of feathery vibe that they're giving right there to the start of my symbol mandala.
Other thing I'll say about mandalas, like I'm looking at my kind of starburst shape
Yeah,
here, and
yeah.
it's like it looks pretty funky right now.
Yeah.
And And with these mandalas, one, with all of our paintings, if you're new here, you'll notice that we do lots of layering. And so in the beginning, I know before I started painting, I would stop too soon. You know, I might look at this and be like, oh, that doesn't look anything like a star. It kind of looks like a spider web right now, frankly. But there's constant opportunity to change and shift and layer and paint over. It's like these first marks are like just a foundation to build upon, but you will have constant opportunity to paint over, to add, so nothing has to look perfectly symmetrical, or it has lots of time to evolve. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. And the fact, when you said that, Whitney, I loved that you said it reminds me of a spider web, because spider webs are a fantastic symbol of creativity, right? They're the
Right.
creators. They make these beautiful webs and weave their magic, right? What a perfect way to start a mandala. And that's just coming through to you, right? It's just
Yeah.
a shape that appeared, and that's what happens. That's the beauty of this process and this practice, is things will just happen. So the symbols that you've chosen or that you decided to work with, you may not even put them down. They may be in your heart and they may be part of the intention for the canvas, but they may not show up for a while. They may be out in the periphery, and something else like that beautiful spider web, that web of light that Whitney's weaving on her mandala will show up for you, right? So let it flow, let it come in. That's the magic of this process. And the layers, right? I love the layers. Okay, now I've got a lot kind of going on here, so I think I'm going to center it and bring it in with some beautiful moon energy, right? That moon energy for us all, for the solstice, for the strawberry moon. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw some moons. And I'm going to make them full moons, right? And I'm going to make them touching. So I'm going to make them a little bigger, and I'm going to have to redraw them a few times and repaint them on here because that's what we do. We paint and we repaint till it feels really good. There we go. Whoops, this one's gonna have to get a little, I'll just go there. There we are. And as you can see, all my moons aren't touching, and that's just fine. I'm just gonna keep going over in that beautiful rhythmic circular motion. It's just, I don't know, I'm really feeling it. I'm really digging the spiral and that energy, that energetic spiral. Circular motion. There we go. And the one thing I found when I paint is I used to try and control more, right? So I would get real worried about, is that a perfect circle? And I realized the more you let that energy flow and that idea from your mind, your center, out through your arm, through your finger, out through the edge of your brush, if you go faster, you get a more symmetrical shape as far as the circle goes. So as you can see, I just keep going over that shape quickly. I'm not worried about anything, and I'm letting it be airy and light. Because remember, we can paint over anything that doesn't serve us or isn't feeling correct, right? Might be feeling a little resistance, or that circle's not perfect. Well, that's okay. You just keep going over it gently and softly. It creates this lovely energy, and it becomes, right? It becomes that beautiful intention, right? I'm going to take a peek at everyone's here while they're working. I love doing that. Sharing this energy in this space with you is so amazing.
So I'm adding these diamonds in between my moons and my bees. I love the bees. So,
Okay. Yeah.
it was like, oh, should I paint spiders? I mean, I could paint. That seemed.
You could paint their
Bees
web.
felt-
You've already painted
Bees
their web.
felt more attractive, so I'm painting bees. But then these diamonds, which are a symbol I work with, and see, look how not symmetrical. This is where the inner critic can come out and start telling you like, oh, it's not going to be symmetrical. And
Right.
I just promise you, it's not going to be symmetrical. None of my mandalas are ever symmetrical.
Right? Mine neither. And that's what I love about them. That's what makes them, that's your imprinting of your energy, right? I'm not worried about using any kind of, technical help, right? Do I need to put everything down with a ruler? No, I just need to let it flow. And that's what I think makes it beautiful and special. Like, you can't even tell that those bees that I put in these areas here are bees. They just look like a bunch of little fluffy paint swooshes, and that's just fine. Bees, like I said, they dance. They kind of have that energy where you can't really see anything but their little bodies, right? When their wings are moving. All right. Now, I also chose hearts for us, right? And being in that heart space, and especially when you're feeling a little resistance about if it's not symmetrical or doesn't feel right, I thought I'd love to put that heart on there for us for our sacred container, right? So I'm going to connect the moons with a heart, and I'm just going to do this free form and see what happens. All right, so I'm going to make it a little bigger, like almost the petal of another flower, like a heart flower. There we go. I'm going to make them upside down, kind of pointing out, so the point is going out in a direction. The love is being directed out into the universe.
Yeah, it is.
And I think too, it's important to remember these things don't have, you probably won't finish this. If you're like me and you're going on all the layers, you'll revisit this and you can finish it and take your time, right? It doesn't have to be finished or completed. Within the space of this workshop, you can work on this mandala the whole time. You can do little bits and pull from everyone's beautiful workshops and add things to your mandala. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you're feeling. But I know I love to also too take photographs. And why I take photographs of my art in these different stages is so I can remember too, right? Because when I'm painting all these beautiful layers, I want to remember. I want to remember the goodness and the love that I poured into it. So what I'll do is I'll take a snapshot so I can see the symbols in this stage and that beautiful light energy that's happening and coming onto the canvas. And then as we deeper into these layers of knowing and yummy color, I just keep taking a snapshot so you can see the progression. And it's a lovely way to then take you can print them out, put them in your journal if you like, and you can kind of keep a record of how you were feeling that day, right? So not only is it a visual yantra, a mantra of what you're feeling now and what you're putting out into the world in this sacred container, but you have a lovely step-by-step view of how you were feeling and how you worked it. So when you go back, you know what you did, right? So if you love something, you can do that again, right? If you don't like something, you don't have to do it again. That's the whole that's the beauty of this process.
Well, and you know me, I think it's fun to share, if you're going to share anything that you've done with anybody, like, look, mom, anything,
Yeah.
it's fun to show the step by step, because most people think that artists just go to the canvas and paint immediately, perfectly, right from the beginning. They know what they're going to paint. It flows onto the canvas. And the reality is there's lots and lots of layers. And usually when people see the step by step, it's like, oh, maybe I could do that, and that's almost what got me painting, was seeing really loose, fun watercolors from one artist in particular. And I started to feel like I could paint if I just gave myself time. So I love kind of pulling back the curtain of the creative process and showing the messy middles.
Yeah.
It encourages people.
And sometimes I find my messy middles, as I look back, I liked better than my end result, right? And that's just the way it goes. You're like, okay, I thought I didn't like that layer, and I really like that layer more now. But that is the beauty of when you document that and you just take a snapshot with your phone, what you just paint more of what you love. So just go back and you can paint that layer again, right? You remember. It's a remembering. You're remembering into you, right? You're feeling into that motion. So now I'm going to add my spirals, and I'm going to be having spirals everywhere. I've already got one in the background, but I did want to put that spiral here. So I'm going to just go ahead, make a beautiful spiral, spiraling out on the four corners of this canvas. Another thing I love is I love the sound of the brush. The sound of the brush on the canvas too. You have that, it's like a light whispering. It's whispering to you as you're painting. It's almost like its own singing bowl, right? I love that. And if you're painting with thicker paint, then you're definitely getting that texture, right? You're getting all those different layers of texture and quality of paint, thickness of paint, all those beautiful things. Like, are you feeling a little claggy? You're feeling a little, or are you feeling dry? Is it more of a dry feeling with a dry brush? I mean, all these things have feelings and lives of their own. That's what really inspires me with this process.
I have a very quiet brush. I don't hear.
Do you have a very quiet brush?
I have
Mine's
a quiet brush. My brush is still sleeping, maybe. Well, it's
it could be. It is the morning. It's a perfect time.
I'm still trying to make my starburst here feel starbursty. It feels more like a sea creature. Oops, that's cool.
Yeah, octopus. Make an octopus.
An octopus. Jeez, that sounds tricky. That's so funny. It's like,
I love looking around, Whitney. Look at all the beautiful canvases. It's
okay,
fun.
I'm gonna switch to gallery view.
Yeah, I'm on the gallery view just because it's just so yummy.
Just to see all the creative
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah, all the beautiful faces.
Yeah.
Look at all that. That's stunning. I love them. Look at the smiles. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Erin. I see Erin smiling into that. And Janice.
Yeah.
Big
Beautiful.
smile. Dale, good to see you. I love it. One of our top posters on our Facebook group. Beth is here. Colleen. Yay. Deborah. Hi, Deborah. You look like you're somewhere warm. Deborah Fillingham. Hello, darling.
Oh, we've got people painting outside. Oh, I love it. It's raining here in Minnesota. It's been raining a lot. We're getting really wild storm energy, but I don't know. I've always loved storms, but I'm kind of like, okay, I could do with a little less water now.
Less storm?
Yeah. Yeah. Less storms. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having lots of water, tornadoes, flooding here. We've got an abundance, right? So if you flip that switch, we have an abundance of water. Yeah, right? And our tomatoes in our gardens are going crazy. So it's fabulous for that. The farmers are loving it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
I'm so glad you brought that up because throughout today, I talked about my intention for, just a new beginning. And these canvases, that just the energy, the emotion that you're choosing to send into the canvas. We'll have many examples where you could paint words or intentions onto the painting. But it's like planting seeds.
Yes.
And I love the garden seed analogy because it is that you reap what you sow, right? So for me and a lot of us, the canvases that we paint are very much intentional. They are like planting seeds. We plant the seeds into the canvas, and then even when you paint over it, those intentions are still there. So you can imagine that today, either the whole experience or each canvas you work on is like planting a seed, and it will expand and remind us to focus on what we want to experience rather than I'm still learning that lesson around don't focus. I just got that message again. Don't focus on what hasn't, quote unquote, gone the way you wanted it to.
right?
Mostly it has to do with paragliding, which is one of my learning. Don't focus on the time you broke your wrist, focus on the hundreds of times that you landed perfectly.
Right. Oh,
Very important.
and that seed, when you're painting your mandala, it's been blooming and growing across the whole canvas, right?
Yeah.
So you've been growing your intentions, you've been growing all that. It's beautiful. How are we all doing with our outlines? Doing good? Yeah, I can see a lot of them. And I love all the different colors coming through. And they're all so different, all the different, it's what you're feeling. So the colors reflect that. I see some beautiful bright magentas down in Junko. She's got hi there. She's got a beautiful magenta mandala. Colleen has some beautiful pastels. Let's see here as I go through. Ooh, Katie's got some yellow magenta and a beautiful seafoam green. Lovely. Love that. Ooh, we got some dark purples and Jen Day. All right. Okay. So what I want to do now is I invite you now to just start kind of filling in, right? Where do these symbols, what part of this symbol wants to come to life? Kind of feel into that, right? And as I talked, remember we have our little wispy looking little bees here, so I'll probably do some filling in there. But what's touching me right now are the moons. I'm really feeling that moon energy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm feeling the polarity of the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use purple, I think, a nice day. Oh, I didn't do purple, I did blue, and that's just fine. Sometimes I can't tell what color's what, and I just dip in and have a good time with it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make one side of the moon a little darker. I'm going to dry brush it. I'm just going to go gently. I'm not going to cover up all that yummy color in the center there. I like that. But I want to make it just a little darker. I'm going to do the same over down here, but to the other side. We're representing the northern and southern hemispheres, right? The moon, where the sun, where the moonlight is right now. So if you're painting down under in Oz, you're in the dark, right? You're in the dark side of the moon, that beautiful dark part. There we go. Kind of feels good. Kind of gives me a different perspective there. I might even do that with the moon. I'm going to paint a different aspect of the moon here. So your mandala doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, right? And we're not about the perfectly symmetrical anyway, but as far as each symbol on it can be different. I have done mandalas where I only have some symmetry on some part of it, and then I go ahead and I break the rules, right? Follow what comes through to you. There we go. Getting some moon shapes in there. I think I'm going to do a little more dark blue on this one. I'm just going to start playing with color. Seeing what I like, feeling what comes through to me.
I'm painting white on my little bees now and the moons, and I'll end up making these colors, but one, this way I can see. Your mind's eye is constantly processing things unconsciously. So even if you know, I know these are bees, but if you look at it and it's like, oh, they look it's hard to see, that's going to affect your experience. So putting some white down or painting the background to help make things clearer.
Yes.
Or the white, then and when I go to paint the color over, the color will be bright because it'll be on the white. So anyway, so many different ways.
Yeah, it's like creating another, it's just like if you regesso the canvas. When you use white, like here, and if you note my flower, my daisy, I could put any color on top of that and it's really going to pop. Or if I put a color on top of a color, it'll also absorb that energy of the color below it. So it's just how you want to use that contrast, right? And what's underneath. What is underneath affects what is on top, right?
Mhm.
As above, so below, and it's all connected. So the light and the energy that's bouncing from this purple, if I put blue on it, it's going to have a different feeling than if I put blue on the white. See that? It's darker, and this has a lighter energetic feel. So that's really kind of fun to play with, right? As you're playing with your colors, think about how just, putting one color across your canvas on the different colors affects each other, and how you like that, and how they mix then together. That's the part of this that's so meditative and fun. You just keep playing, keep experimenting, and always be curious, right? What is calling to you? Now, I've done a lot of kind of blues in these moons, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's see, where do I want this moon? I think I'm just going to spiral it out using magenta. And as that magenta hits that white, it really pops. And it's a little darker when it went over the existing color in the center.
Other thing I'll mention is with mandalas, and I love this, whether you're drawing them or painting them or anything, but the going around and around lends to that meditative, relaxed state. It's like the EMDR where your eyes go back and forth. It synchronizes the two hemispheres of the brain. And then when those hemispheres are synchronized, when that inner critic comes up, the other part of your brain is like, yeah, but we're just in the early stages, and brings you present. So the round and around, or if you're feeling something has you spun out, right? Just even that term, or stressed or frustrated, even drawing a mandala, just your eyes going around and around the circle will harmonize the dual nature of our magical minds.
Yes, and I like to refer to it as loving all over the canvas, right? Don't get so focused on one part. Just love all over the canvas. The more you love all over the canvas, you also bring everything starts to come together at the same time, right? At least I find that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Feeling some orange here. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put that. I think I'll go right in here. Put another little flower on top of my flower. Why not, right? Just adding a little petal movement.
I love painting together too, because we get ideas.
Yeah.
Each other. Is that a book title? Steal like a something?
Is that a book title?
I'll see Kim do something and it's like, ooh, I want to do that. I'm definitely going to do the moon's dark and light, but I'm letting that dry.
Yeah. Good. I love it. Yeah, we're here to share. This is all about sharing. And I think what I'm going to do now is I've been using some kind of a dry brush technique with a round brush. When we talk about round brushes, it's just this type of brush here with the round ferrule, right? I'm going to switch to my favorite brush, which is a filbert. And I like filberts just because I can scrub with them easier. I use a hog's hair because they're stiff and they have that lovely round and also tapered brush to them, so I can really get in and scrub. If I scrub with these, the round brushes, they have a much gentler fiber and hair, right? A lot of them are the extruded plastic ones, right? Which is fine too. I like and use all brushes, but for scrubbing, something I like to do, and I'll show you here. I just take a little dab, just a little dab will do ya, and then I scrub, and then I can get a nice light, and that's when your brush sings too. I get that scrubbing sound.
Can you scrub on the opposite side of your canvas, because you're scrubbing behind my captions?
Oh, of course, I will scrub on the other. Yeah, no problem. Okay,
I
can you
want to
see
see
this?
the scrubbing technique.
All right,
Feel
so
like an artist. Thank you, Kim.
there you go. So I've got just a little bit on the tip there, and I'm just putting it to the side, so I keep it more at an angle like this, and I scrub. And it's also scrubbing and mixing the color on the canvas, which I like to do mostly. I know a lot of people do a lot of mixing on the palette, which is completely fine and a wonderful thing to do too, but I like to do the scrubbing, the mixing of the color right on the canvas. I like to see what's happening, and I've got kind of a beautiful purpley, scrubby side of the moon there. Can you see that, Whit? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I think I call that blending.
You call it
but
blending?
I
Yeah.
don't. But pulling out, yeah, I like it. Oh, look, I forgot a bee. White.
So I'm just adding a little white in there just to kind of lighten that side. I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to go fully over the beautiful colors on the bottom. I'm going to add a little yellow. I want to see it. I know some people are like, ooh, purple and yellow, it's going to make it a little muddy, but I don't think so. Look at that. It's a beautiful color. It's kind of a warm autumnal color, right? Adding a little different sparkle here and there. And another thing I love to do is finger paint. These are some of my favorite little tools to use. Fingers, because that, right? I'm going to put these little swirls everywhere because I don't know, I feel about it really gets you into the rhythmic motion of the mandala, and also how you just love feeling the canvas. I like to feel the canvas. I like to feel what I'm working on. I like to get in there, and also that puts my fingerprint into the paint. So my energy is absolutely in it as far as intentions and physicality, right? The physicality of putting your imprint on the art. I just like to dance some of those little C shapes, I guess they're called. I like to put them around. They almost look like little shooting stars here and there. They disrupt the background, right? You can tell by mine, I've got a lot going on right now. There's like not a lot of, it's all sort of at the same level, sort of midtones, except for that white poking through. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding some contrast and working in some of that detail. So now we can add in, fill in the colors, fill in your shapes, outside and inside. And you can see here, so I demonstrated that you can scrub like that. And that was using a dry brush, so I hadn't put any water on the brush at that time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dry off, and I don't care if my brush is completely clean. I never worry about that. But what I want to do now is I'm going to just do a little scrubbing with some white here, just to show you how you can make that really pop off the background by just going really close up to that edge of the heart or whatever symbol you're working on and scrubbing out. And it makes that beautiful glowing, right? Adds a lovely little glow to the side of that heart. Really makes it pop. So that's by adding the contrast. So I go right up against the edge, and then I kind of fan or feather it out, or as Whitney says, blend it out. Now I'm kind of pulling it out because I like the idea of that being a shining, glowing little feeling there.
If you paint over your outlines, you just can go back over the outlines later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or in the background cover, like I'll cover some of that.
Yes, I'm always going over my outlines and repainting them in. I continually do that. That's part of the layering process, that give and that take, that energy exchange with the canvas. I'm going to go ahead and I just paint where I'm feeling, where I'm called, right? Right now I'm adding some yellow to, oh my God, I like that yellow. I'm going to go ahead and scrub and blend some of that color right in here.
You use scrub, girl. You do you.
I'm scrubbing and blending.
I'll scrub.
And I'll blend. We'll mix her up. There we go.
Okay. Woo. Whoops. You can also scratch. Take the end of your brush and
Oh.
scratch.
Yeah. I love what yellow does. You know, when you have put yellow over some dry colors of paint, it really makes it sing, right? It's one of those great colors that over magenta, it'll kind of make a beautiful orange peachy color. Over blue, it'll kind of give you a greenish tint. But painting, I do a lot of my painting, a lot of my layers in very light tints, right? So I'm not using an opaque or having a lot of white in that paint. I'm using just, like I say, a scrubbing of a transparent color, like yellow I consider to be more of a transparent color, where if you use white, you'll see that it covers everything up, right? That's where you can get like a nice clean foundation. That's an opaque color, right? When you're talking about paints, it's the opaqueness, the quality of the paint. I love working in very many layers of transparency. I like to see through. I like to see what's behind the curtain. And change and affect it, right?
And there's a request to speak up just a little bit.
Okay, I can do that. I'm getting into that soft vibe.
Yeah. You have such a soothing voice, more soothing than mine, but mine carries, I guess.
All right. Is that better? Trying. I have a lower voice. Yeah. Okay. I have a lower voice too, so it tends to get mixed up with the rest, right?
Yellow is also very transparent. So if you want it to cover more of your background, for example, you can add just a little white to it.
Mm-hmm.
About for those of you new to painting.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, when you mix white in any color, it'll make it more opaque, right? So you won't be able to see through it. You won't have that see-through quality. And you're going to want that in some instances. In some instances, you're going to want more of a transparent feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about play, right? You don't know what you like until you do it a few times. And for me, I'm always learning. I'm constantly learning about what I like, and it's all about the play and about taking those photographs and about kind of documenting what you really like and how you did it, taking some notes, right? This is how I did that. It helps a ton as you play.
Another thing about photographs is that often I'll be getting a little critical of my painting, perhaps, and then I look at a photo of it and I'm like, oh, I like it actually. Or it gives you ideas. You can play with filters or the contrast, and the photo will help you see it more objectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I've found too is distance. So
Yes.
when you take the time to distance yourself from anything, any problem, anything you've got going on, or if you think there's something you don't like on your painting, or even, life, right? If you have that distance, if you give yourself the distance and the grace and the space to walk away from it for a while, I have paintings and I keep them going. Like I use paintings and paint. I usually have 4 or 5 going at the same time. And the reason I do that is so I can give myself the grace and the space not to feel any tension or anxiety or that, that nudge that it has to be completed or why didn't I finish this? Because I get to play on different ones every day. And when I don't, when I'm feeling it, then I just move, or when I'm not feeling it is more like it. I move to the next, I move to the next canvas. That's how I work that out.
Absolutely. Yeah, so today there might be one canvas that calls to you, like you all would be able to keep painting on this mandala during my workshop, or you could start a whole new canvas.
Right.
So Regaining that objectivity is huge. You could paint this one mandala for the rest of your life. Just keep going and going.
Just keep going. Exactly. Right. All right. I'm going to go in. This is purple, I think. No, that's black. Don't want that. Let's do a little blue green. And it's all about using the colors you love and the favorite colors that are talking to you and speaking to you right now. Right. Yeah, I'm digging these moon phases here and going different ways too, right? Different perspectives, different side of the globe. Don't want them all facing the same way. I want that energy. I want that movement and the difference. I want, just feeling it. Okay, I'm gonna get in there. And I'm gonna start on some little bees here. I haven't really played with my bees too much in the center. I want to bring my bees out. And I might do that by going in. I'm gonna use my finger because I know I want the bodies of my bees to be kind of yellowy, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and finger paint some of that on there. And if you really want to stretch yourself, use your non-dominant hand. So you're just really just feeling the energy, right? Of the paint and enjoying that. Breaking away from, you don't have any preconceived notions about using, your non-dominant hand. It's like, well, everything's a free-for-all here, so we're just going to have some fun. Okay. No. Looking for a liner brush here. I love liner brushes because they're just those brushes that are nice. They have they're thin and they're round and they have a really long bristle. Go ahead and I'm going to dip my liner brush into some black to create some contrast here. I've got a lot of color, but I don't have a lot of contrast as far as lights and darks. It is all sort of the midtones except for the white, and I'm going to disrupt that. I'm going to shake that up a bit, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repaint on some of my guidelines. First, I think I'll start with my little bees. I've got the little yellow bodies now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some wings. I want them to fly, right?
Got it.
I'm going to go around, not worried about if it's, I just go ahead and I have fun placing little wings on the bee. I'm going to go ahead and define a little head here. Add a few stripes. And one thing I like to teach too when I'm painting is the illusion of detail. I do a lot of little dots and a lot of little lines, but I don't do them perfectly. I don't worry about perfect line consistency or quality. I just go in and I just feel it and I paint it and I feel that energy. And I get the illusion of detail. It's just a lot of little, a lot of strokes, and I find that the strokes that aren't, exactly the way you envisioned them are the ones that really, usually are the ones I like the best.
So funny you say that because I look at your paintings and I think, yeah, like, wow, she's got so much detail. And I tend to be more like broad brushstroke girl.
Yeah.
But it's fun to switch it up sometimes. Sometimes I do paintings just to try and be more detail oriented.
Absolutely. Try something new, right? And I like to push myself and try to be more broad brushstroke girl. Because that is, everything you learn from everything, right? But just by adding that little bit here, you can see it has, I think I'll see if I can raise that up. Move my water here so I don't have a meltdown. There we go. I'm just going to pull that towards the camera a little. Just by adding those little strokes, see how that contrast of the black creates the little bee? And it's just really going over the outlines. And not one is like the other. They all have their own little personality. So I invite you to just continue, keep painting and playing as you round out your mandala.
Much fun.
Let me take a peek around everyone's now. Again, it's so fun. Ooh, Susan, look at yours. She's got the seed of life in the center. That's beautiful. Ooh, and Sarah, look at that. I love the spirals. I think you have trees. That's beautiful. Let's see. Okay, we've got Franca. Let's see. Ooh, look at that purple. Look at those.
Janice.
Ooh, yes. Erin. I'm clicking through. I got Kay. She's got hers up. That's beautiful. Wow, look at the color, you guys. All right, I'm going to go to the next page. Janice, let's see. Yeah, and Jill Morris, look at hers. We've got some beautiful energy coming from the center in white. Janice, what you got cooking? Angela, holy smokes. Wow. Look
Wow,
at all these.
Angela, yeah, look how different they
Oh,
all are.
I know, I love them. Oh, Janice, gosh. And then there's so many beautiful ones. Ah, you guys are making me so happy. I can't stand it.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Ellie,
Huh?
Megan, look at they're beautiful. If I missed someone, I'm sorry. We've got a lot of pages to click through to look at all your beautiful creations.
Yeah.
But know that we feel the energy and the love. They're gorgeous. Mary, I can see yours is beautiful. Look at these. Oh, we got a big heart on Beth's. That's gorgeous. Yeah, so fun. Mm. Yeah, we're just going to keep painting and playing and adding color and adding definition to wherever it feels good for you, right?
Yeah, I got inspired by your colors, Kim, and just made it so much more. Doesn't really look like it in this light, but it just got so much bolder.
Yeah, you know me,
Adding,
I'm a wild color girl.
yeah,
I
just
love it.
layering. Like if I have yellow, add orange, or pink, you know, the magenta, add a little of this, whatever this color is. This is primary red, but it's more
Ooh, it's
like
kind of a cranberry.
it's
Yeah.
like a pinky red. Yeah, I don't know how they're calling that primary red, but anyway. So like if there's yellow, you could add orange, pink, you can add red, blue, you could add purple or yellow, you know, kind of harmonious colors to
Ah.
turn up the volume on the colors. And so I was going to add this orange to my yellow spiral in the middle here.
Pump up the volume.
Pump up the volume, pump up the
Pump up the volume,
I
right?
won't start singing for y'all.
It just went through my head like I get these weird songs. You ever get those earworms, guys, when you're doing something or grooving? Yeah, I know.
Hi,
That's
Bianca and Trina. Love it. Okay. I also love the rule, whatever feels easiest, do that.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
When you're feeling, any kind of resistance, then just if you think this would be way easier if I did it that way, just do it. Or come back to it later, right? If there's a part of the canvas that is telling you, you know what, we're not quite ready to play yet, why don't you come back later? And then usually when you do, it's a much easier journey.
Well, and this is following your intuition, right? So you're
Yeah.
practicing at the canvas how to follow your intuition. So a huge part of our medicine these days is anything that gets us out of our head, out of our thinking mind, into our body, into our hearts. And it's, we need to be in our heads sometimes, but not all the time. And it's really easy. If you're not mindful, it's really easy to stay in your head. And the head is meant to be balanced by the body and the heart. So that's another huge intention for this painting practice, is to just create space, even if it's like for 10 minutes one day, pick your favorite color and take it to this canvas that you just have out that you paint on over and over, just to create contrast in your state of being.
Yeah, to experience it.
It's like taking vitamin C when you have a cold. When you're living in this modern world, you want to make sure, whether you're painting or getting out in nature, doing something that's not productive. That's not logical. Woo, that just made me super happy, these colors.
Right? I know. You just got to keep playing. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my little moons here. It's like, okay, I'm going to get some more white in here, I think.
Yeah, I'm shifting to background focus now.
Yeah, I'm shifted. I'm kind of in the background, but I'm also doing, I shift from doing some line work to some background work. Like I said, it's nice to love all over your canvas, right?
Yeah.
Spread that energy. I'm going to change from a liner brush. I'm not feeling that for the background. I'm feeling the scrub. Feeling the scrub. All right, let's get a little white on the tip and scrub. Filling in some of that lighter moon energy on the light side of the moon. I'm going to just go around and help out my little moons. Give them some glow. We all like glow, right? And on these layers, I'm not being careful. I can always paint over and I can, the final layers and the final detail. When you feel like you're ready for that, or, as you keep moving, I'll go back and wherever I've kind of put a little dent here or there, that to me is the character, right? That's kind of like the bones of your painting, is the things that it's the imperfections to me that are the most interesting.
Yeah, I've always said good art is whatever captures your attention and holds it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique.
Yes.
Every person, and then the layers and different shades of color, all those things make the paintings more interesting, which also the asymmetry, like what you were just mentioning, is also along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, go back in with some black and a bigger round brush. So I'm gonna add a little more contrast. and this is a dance, it's a play, back and forth, right? Where do I need a little more contrast? And I'm kind of feeling it right here. Well, I don't know. Where do I want it? Then I decide, is that what I want to do or don't I? And then I'm like, yeah, well, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a darker outline to the side of this moon. It's a little transparent, and that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to round out even the light side of that moon. I'm going to go for it. Like I said, if I don't like it later, I can change it.
Sometimes the canvas is teaching us patience. Sometimes it's reminding us to be kind to ourselves. Like the center thing is just trying to make me crazy, but I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna let it. Yeah, it's it's right. It's a teacher for sure. And I just realized I didn't paint my moons here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go over some of these magenta spirals here. I'm going to add some more moon energy here. There we go. That helped me. I kind of rounded out. That felt better. It gave me some balance and harmony that I was looking for there. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add some white on there. And I'm going to do a different axis here. Got the call to split my moon this way. Why not? I'm going to go on the other side here.
Right, one little change can.
One little change, one little shift can give you a whole different perspective.
Oh. I just had a breakthrough idea for the center. There we go. I'm gonna.
Trying to catch up on some of the fun comments.
Oh.
Yeah, all of these are so differently beautiful. They are, aren't they? Just love it.
Yeah.
Never thought to add bees to a mandala. I love that. So beautiful. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, community. Woo! Get them dancing bees going. All right. Yeah, and photos. People are liking that. Painting in a storm. That's powerful. Yes, it is. All that energy. Ooh.
Yes.
Stacy just went out to let my pup out and a deer was bounding by. I guess I know what I'm painting today. Absolutely. That deer wants to play. Karen, hey, Minnesota girl here too. Being using that loosely. As you can see, painting is new to me. That's wonderful. Welcome, Karen. We love newbies. That's the most fun. Be messy. Get that messy middle. Hey, Florida. So amazing.
Sarah, you asked how you get the paid recording. I just posted the link.
Oh, perfect. There it is.
So at any point today, $33 if you decide like, oh yeah, I want to have access to all 12 of these workshops moving forward. That's how you get them.
Yeah, right? Then it's a never-ending canvas of love.
Okay, I'm going to take a photo so I can see what to do next, perhaps.
I love how the moons are feeling very graphic to me, right? Very kind of like, and the bees are very organic and the flower, then I've got this graphic element. So I'm kind of playing with that too. Like, is it more of a natural shapes, right? Or there's some kind of like the moons are feeling very like, ooh, like it's like the mandala, like the heart of the mandala. So it's interesting how that shifted when I added those two moons back in from a spiral. A little more attention there. Okay, I'm gonna go some free forming it now. I'm bringing my spirals in. think I need some dots. I don't know, I'm feeling dots. I'm feeling rhythm. I like rhythm, right? So I added some rhythm with my finger marks, but I'm going to add some rhythm. I love using just like little cotton buds. And they make the fun. I call them fairy farkles because I just put the bud. I put the bud in. I'm going to do some white ones. I just put the tip of the bud into the paint, and then I push down. I'm going to show a few here. I'll put some on this heart. And if you push hard, you get a little open spot, so it looks like a bubble. And I call them fairy farkles, and I'll lift that up higher. And then I'm just going to go ahead, and then I'm going to add some of that rhythm around the rest of my canvas. And that's another thing about adding the illusion of detail, right? Is when you do, where's that? I'm going to get that up high. I can't really see myself. There it is. Those little pops right there. I'll add some in the moon so you can see them easier. I'll do it here.
So glad you said dots because that just helped me.
Right? So there's some dots, see on that moon, and see how when I push down hard, there you see the color through the center. So they look like bubbles, right? I love that. And I tend to dance them around. Now I'm just going to have some fun dancing around. I'm going to take two of these little earbuds, and I'm just going to, wherever it feels good, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add dots. I like to put dots in threes, in twos, ones, singular dots. But as you do that, you're also adding, my favorite, the illusion of detail, because you're having fun, you're dancing, you're feeling the rhythm. I'm using both hands. I'm not worrying about where I put them. I just like dancing them around. It disrupts, it changes the landscape, it adds another layer of things dancing across. And it's darn fun to do. You can make big dots, little dots, but I like making dots where they're not hard to make. Like some of, so to me, the easiest way to do it is to use a cotton bud. Because I also like the softness. I like the imperfection of the circle it makes. That to me is a super fun way, and a little trick that I like to put in. I think almost all my paintings have a little dot there.
I've never done random dots.
Oh, I love random dots.
Yes.
Oh,
Doing.
the random, it feels so freeing, doesn't it? Just
Yeah.
place them everywhere. It's freedom, right?
I can even feel my logical brain being like, what?
What are you doing,
What
right?
are you doing? But the dots saved my little center area here. Now I'm happy.
It broke it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lift it up higher towards the camera, Whitney.
Hold on. I'll lift the camera. Whoops.
There you go. Whoopsie.
There
There you go. Oh, yeah. I love it.
Right?
Look at your teeth. Oh, my God. I love it.
Yeah, here, hold on.
And your moons are beautiful and soft. You get that dark side of them, and it's so nice. Y'all, loving it.
I mean, it's just, oops, so many layers.
So many layers. I'm going to add more layers because, we're just not done with layers yet. I'm going to go back and I'm doing the swirly swirlies. I love the swirls. I need more swirls.
Yeah. Just managing that inner critic.
Yep.
And giving yourself an opportunity to move through the process. So that's what I learned when I first started painting right before I opened the art center. So I just used to stop too soon.
Yeah, you think, oh, it's not good. Or you get in your own way there, right?
And it's the same thing with just about anything. Like most projects, right? Everybody don't go as planned right away. They just don't. So, okay, why is my camera not lining up the way it was? But sticking with it, being able to stay present and focus on what do I want, and then take steps in that direction.
Absolutely. And when you do that, when you focus on that and you see the random dots and you step away, like when you're talking about creating depth of field, like right now I'm creating some spirals on top of my mandala. So it's like another layer. It's almost like looking in through the cosmos, right? We've got the moons on there. We've got some things. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to add some spirals over the things I painted. And I love how that energy changes it, right? It pushes and it pulls and it works with the universe, right? The way you feel too. Some days you feel super intense energy, and other days you feel gentle calmness, right? I love that. Just like spiraling energy of storms, right? Water can be
I don't
gentle.
know about those random spirals, Kim. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Try it.
I'm just trying to get all my outlines here all together, and that feels challenging.
I know. That's why I'm doing it. Why not? You got to try something new, right? Now, especially if you're like, oh my God, I'm loving mine. Well, you know what? Put some spirals on there. But what I love is it's interesting how the play of this spiral now has pushed and pulled some of that information back and forward. And what I love is you can now go in, choose the parts you like, and bring them forward again. It's that constant dance, right? Between what you want to bring forward and what you want to push away. And so, yeah, I love adding layers of spirals and random dots, adding that rhythm, that randomness to a pattern that seems to be, has its definite order, and then you just mix up the order of things, right?
Disrupt, you mean?
Disrupting, yeah.
Disrupt.
That's the word I'm looking for.
We love disruptions.
Wow, this is so fun. I love the colors. I love what's happening. I'm just feeling all that energy, and I just want to do spirals, and I want to pull out some more of my moons and some more of the hearts. My bees. My busy bees.
I've been watching the bees on my lupin flowers.
Lovely.
And they hop on and they use their rear legs to push the bottom petal down so they can get in there. So cute.
I love that. I love it when bees sleep in large flowers and their little bee butts stick out. Do you ever see
What?
that?
No.
We have, so the bumblebees, they need a rest, right? They're very busy bees, and they'll fly around on flowers. And I'm sure in your lupins too. You go out early in the morning, you'll see a little fuzzy bee butt in a lupin, and that's a sleeping bumblebee. So I noticed, isn't that darling? I noticed bumblebees taking naps. My husband loves to grow canna lilies, and they're big, and they hold the big bumblebees just right. They tuck right down in there. Yeah. Oh, dotting. That's my thing for doing mandalas on rocks. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and Kim asked if you're using Q-tips for dots. She is using Q-tips for dots.
Oh, good. Yeah.
She did. You did. You
Yes.
can also use the end of your brush.
Yes.
Can make some good dots.
I'm going around watching everyone now. So much fun.
Ah, 7:45 already.
I see Sylvie. Hi, Sylvie.
Yay, Sylvie.
Hi, honey. Lauren, how are you? Look at you. Oh, wow, Lauren, look at that. That's some big mandala energy. I love it. It's beautiful. Let's see, Jill Morris, pick yours up, tilt it towards the camera, Jill.
If anyone wants to show your mandala and just share part of your experience or something you're getting or intuition or anything, just raise your hand since we have 196 people on here. Woohoo! If you go down to reactions at the bottom of your screen and raise your hand, then we can say hello to you. Okay, Marcia. Hi, Marcia.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. I only signed up this morning.
Go, spontaneous woman.
Very much so. And that's where I am.
Oh.
This is so much fun. I can't tell you how much fun, because I've had a really busy 4 weeks. And today I'm at work, but kind of taking it easy.
Beautiful. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sure. Can I see it one more time? Just one more quickie. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Look, oh, you've got those beautiful zigzags, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to outline my spirals with a Posca pen.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Posca.
Yes, right? I do too.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Beautiful. Exciting. Okay, let's see. Katie White.
Well, let's see.
Darling.
Hello. So I wanted to add bees because I have recently learned that bees, when they are together in the hive, are resonating at the key of GC, which
Whoa.
is a very healing key for the human element. And they always say that people who live around bees raise hives and things, live longer and live healthier lives. And that is one of the reasons that is projected. So I wanted the element of bees to come out, and I'm trying to envision a hive around those bees. So, and I kind of see this painting community as just that, this beautiful hive, the collective. They're supporting each other, and I'm just so thankful to be part of this. So thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Oh, beautiful, Katie. Thank you. Yeah, the bees in the beehive, and I can see your hexagon shapes coming through. Isn't that lovely? Oh,
Fabulous. Hi, Kay. Do you want to unmute yourself? I've been wanting to follow my bees to their hive. I haven't seen a hive around here. I know they're here.
Hi.
Hi, Kay. Hey, flowers.
I
What is that?
would just like to say this has been so much fun. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, 10 to 3 at the moment. And thank you.
oh, you're so welcome. That's beautiful.
Love it. And the round canvas.
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you, a couple of months ago, I bought some of these canvases. They were packs of 4.
Wow.
And there were packs of 3, and I randomly bought 4 packs. Anyway, there were 12 round ones in all. And after I signed up, I went to the shops and I was looking at it, and I remembered I still had that in the boot of my car. So Spirit knew I was doing this way before I did.
That is perfect. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Well,
Kay. Where
thank
are
you
you
for
joining
joining.
us from?
New Zealand.
I thought so.
Right.
I was
Yay.
there this winter.
I know. I saw you. Did you go to the south? Only to the South Island? Or did you come to the North Island too?
Yes, I was in Queenstown.
Ah.
And I went to the North Island for Angela Murray's wedding. Angela will be here later, probably. I mean, she will be here later, but she's not here now, I think. But yeah, I went up to the North Island to Bay of Plenty for her wedding.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful country, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is. Thank you for saying hi.
Thank
Jen,
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jen, did you want to share? Jen, I need to know how to say your last name. Chekolinsky?
Ooh.
Sekolinsky.
Chekolinsky. Ooh, some cosmic egg feeling.
Yes, so I made the moons and then I wanted to put snakes on there. And when they were connecting, I realized it also kind of looks like sperm.
It does.
And then I had made these bubbles. I thought they were going to be bubbles, but I realized they're eggs, like as if birthing, like what am I birthing next? And I've been very notorious for painting yoni and a lot of feminine energy, and this is reminding me of bringing in that masculine energy, the divine masculine, in order to get things done. Because sometimes the feminine is just like I need a little order.
Right?
So yeah, so it's feeling, and I have my little bees in here, and That was really resonating with me. So
Yeah, rebirth, life, the snake, sperm, eggs. Potent. That's some good medicine right there. These mandalas are medicine for us every day. I love it.
So cool. Thank you, Jen. I just, oh God. Ay, caramba. Sorry.
Oh, I'm loving yours, Whitney. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's getting fun. The layers are really,
The
and
layers.
again, I've painted a lot of mandalas on canvas and facilitated that. And for some reason, the painting mandalas, even more so than the drawn ones, have, it feels like an expanded part of the process where they feel either kind of too simplistic, or the asymmetry kind of starts poking at the rational logical mind. And always you just keep going, keep adding little layers and little echoes of the shapes, right? And it comes together in the end. It's just to stay open. And it's one of the biggest lessons I've received from painting mandalas. So
That's
like
beautiful.
I said,
yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. And it is said, like you say, to stay open and just, receive. It's a transmitter, right?
and I love that this middle piece still looks like a spider web.
I do too.
Actually, because it is a beautiful metaphor for our human existence, the interconnectedness. I'll add more yellow there. Gorgeous. Okay. Does anyone else want to share? Kim, I'm putting you back on here.
Let's see. I'm going to go to gallery view and see if anyone has their hand up, or how do you raise your hand? Tracy. Okay, it's down at the bottom. Underneath, where is it? Reactions. You'll see a little smiley face at the bottom of your screen with a little plus sign. You can go in there and put your hand up. Does that help?
Or if you just unmute yourself, you'll come to the front.
To the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that, but I'll show you my, can you see me?
Oh, there she is. Okay, and then we've got Lorraine and Megan and Dale. We're gonna get to you. Okay, there we go.
I don't know if you can see it.
Beautiful, Tracy.
Oh, wow. I love that monochrome. It's beautiful. It's vibrating.
It feels like an activation.
It does.
So, I was going to say, I believe everything happens for a reason and things are brought to you. And I've been feeling a lot of energy coming my way lately. And I was online last night and like something came up on TikTok or something that said, things are coming your way, and tomorrow, especially, something special is coming your way. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. And I just thought that was really interesting. Like, I just feel like things are falling into place. And so this is really special. So I just wanted to say that and let you know how special I think this is. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you show yours one more time? Because I couldn't find you.
Yeah,
and I want to activation.
Okay, she's pinned now, so
I don't know. It's kind of hard to see it. Can you see it? I don't know if there's enough light.
Gorgeous. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I have like dragonflies and hearts. And this is a symbol for gratitude. And this is a symbol for creativity.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's my favorite, like that star burst shape that you have in the middle.
Thank you.
Really fun. Okay, Megan Rose, and then Lorraine. Once I just want to make sure you have your video.
Hey everybody. So one of the main things that I want to say and share is that this is so freeing. Like the fact that I don't think I paint nearly enough because I'm all in my brain. I'm like triple, quadruple Gemini. And so, but I'm a creative at heart. And I have all this stuff and I just don't do it because of the process. Like I forget all the time that it's a layering in the process and just keep going. And so I really wanted to share mine for twofold. For one, my brain is telling me it's not a mandala yet. And two, because I thought it was really cool. One of the last people that went was like mine. These at first I was like, oh, okay, they're little snakies. And I'm like, no, they look like sperms. And this was going to be a strawberry. And I totally think that this is now like the center of like the egg. And these are going to be little cosmic roses, but beneath them were like daisies. And it's really just cool to see what's eventually is coming out of it in each of the stages. I am taking my pictures. And it's cool because at the beginning, and like these are my holy fire Reiki and the flames, and I'm in the, the death rebirth era. And so my energy was cycles and just honoring that. And then like I had no intention of like the DNA and the sperms and the egg to come forth, but it's here. And so I just thank you for like allowing the space of the center into the heart, just let it go, create the layers. Very, very cool day. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you.
Beautiful.
it looks like an eye.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
well, yes, I
also-
forgot to say that because yes, and then that too. And then I feel like a portal energy is coming through. Yes. So it's really, yeah, it's a fun process. Thank you again.
And just rejoicing in how beautiful and magical all of ours are, so different, right? All the beautiful energy we're receiving is unique to us and what we need, the medicine we need right now, right?
Absolutely. Lorraine, do you want to share? Lorraine, you have your hand up?
Yes.
Hello,
Hi. I'm outside of Philadelphia and we're having a heat wave. So I'm not really feeling my greatest. Just turned the air conditioning on while I was listening. Now I've been just starting as an artist, quote unquote, the last year. I've been a lifelong musician and piano teacher. And the reason I wanted to share is because I don't like what I have. And I guess I need some feedback. I was the person that said I do dotting. So this is, let me see. Is that in focus?
No.
Yeah, I think if you turn your computer so it's not facing that light, just, yeah. And now put it in front of the camera, but back a little back more closer to your face. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so
I love it.
I do Mandala on rocks.
Yeah.
And so I use dotting tools, and that I've been pretty successful with because I have a tremor in my hand. And when I'm putting a firm point onto my rock and it touches, then I can deal with it. But I don't know. I just feel like this is all over the place, and I don't know how to show it to you.
Yeah. So part of this process too, Lorraine, is an invitation into just radical acceptance. Like we can all look at, it's a little, yeah, your camera, there we go. That, just hold it right there. I think that is beautiful. Like it's like pure raw creativity and color, and you can keep going on it. I guarantee you, none of these are, I would imagine, anywhere near done. We're like all kind of middle of this process.
Yeah.
And the more we focus on what we want, like what do you want? Like you want it to be brighter, you want it to be darker, more contrast. Keep focusing on what you want, and then layer after layer, one brushstroke at a time. And we'll get there.
They just come out. I can't control where they're going. They come out real wobbly. And that's why I feel like, I don't know, there's my hand right now. So anyway, I'm just trying to find ways to get around all of that.
Kim, do you have a suggestion for Lorraine? I'll put you back.
Okay. And let me see her.
I know sometimes for me, it's going around, God, the sunlight. Hello, good morning, sun. When I start to feel like it's all over the place or too confusing, I go around the edges of my shapes. Kind of, I think of it as like going with the grain, you know, so I'm echoing the outline of the shape, and then I do that blending, scrubbing out so I don't lose all the background fun. So sometimes helps clean up. Like, so if you look at your mandala with kind of a soft gaze, if there's some edges that distract you, try that. Just try doing a brush stroke that echoes, like with the moon, it would be, you know, round, or the heart, just echo right next to the outline and then blend it out and see if that helps your mind's eye. Be like, oh, okay.
And then
it really is an unconscious, the way we're processing visually.
Right. And two, you know, you mentioned your hand and things, and there's also that embracing that beauty of exactly what's coming forward, right? So when you're feeling those emotions, and like Whitney said, sometimes take it, look at your rock, squint your eyes, or look at your and that'll soften all the edges, right? And I think that's what we mean by soft focus, is that squinting. And that'll kind of blend those colors together. And also too, like, I think it's beautiful, and I love the fact that you do have the imperfections, and that is you, that is your imprint, your energy, right? And
then I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Maybe that'll get me going again.
Absolutely.
I've been stuck on this. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, don't be stuck. It's one of those things that, you know, that's where you're feeling that resistance, and the stuckness is just telling you, maybe just embrace that, right? Embrace that beautiful wild energy and paint bigger. Try painting larger, okay? And that will also then too be able for you to focus on different areas while you're feeling that resistance. If it's larger, you can be more expressive with your gestures and your movements of your hand and your brush. Okay?
Okay. I didn't pick a very big canvas because I thought I didn't want to get too lost, but maybe I should have done it the other way around.
Well, next time you can. There's no limits, right? Just get a larger, get a piece of paper or a bigger rock, whatever you want.
I do have some bigger canvases that maybe I'll do that for the next session.
Yeah, because that really brings forward then, when you're painting large and expressively, then you can really focus on different areas of what you like, and it's more apparent to what you want to paint more of, what you're feeling into versus what you're not feeling into. Okay, so it kind of gives you a broader lens, a new perspective.
Okie dokie.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dale. I want to see Dale. Oh, it's 8:04. Shoot. Okay, Dale. We're not going anywhere, of course, but wow, look at you. Love it.
It's so magical. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Learning layers. So Whitney, you kind of taught me to go in layers with the Terra, whatever. And so this has been kind of interesting, not having an end goal, just sort of whatever comes out, comes out.
Love
Beautiful.
it.
How would you describe, what's the energy you get from your mandala there?
I don't know. It's just fun, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of got on a little bit late, and so I was starting without you. So I think I started with like reds and yellows and things like that. So I love the blues and purples and stuff that some of you have to start with. But, you know, I brought some of that in, and then it's kind of fun. I think Kimberly mentioned, you know, it's like you go back and forth, like there's depth and then you pull it back out or you lose it and bring it back. And so play. I mean, that's really, really kind of playing. So
beautiful. Thank you, Dale. I'm so glad you're here. We love our creative men.
Yes, we do. We love that energy.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay, you're reminding me to do more random dots.
Random dots, baby.
Now I'm doing white instead of the dark. Okay. Annika, is that how you say? Oh, you're so.
Yes. Oh, hi.
Is that how you say your name?
Ineke.
Ineke. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
I thought it was on Monday, so I had my stuff not ready. But I had in the closet, in the cabinet, I had a booklet and crayons. So I made this one. That was the first one, but it's not finished yet because I wanted to work with color. It's difficult to see. This. Yeah. Then you.
Okay.
Yeah. This was the first one.
There you go.
Beautiful.
And but the white stuff must. Yeah, I want to work on that. It's not finished yet. But and then
the seal. It's
I want to work with color, and then I only had this one.
So a little higher.
Yeah, I will.
There we go.
And I only had coloring stiften. What is that? Stiften, like this. Markers. Coloring markers. I used markers and crayon pencils. And for the layers, you see here's a layer. And yeah, it felt really nice doing it because I'm not really artistic. And this was so soothing to do this. I just went very calm. I got calm doing this. So,
beautiful.
and it's my first mandala I ever made.
That's wonderful. You did beautiful.
So I wanted to show the other way, which is, think out of the box if you don't have the stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, do you want to kind of say whatever you want to say and close, and then we will end this recording and start our next workshop?
Well, like Whitney said, you may work on this the whole time. You can add to it, start different canvases. Just thank you so much for joining us in this first beautiful workshop to paint your medicine mandala, right? Because this is your medicine, your heart. What's important to you? That's why all the energy and all the beautiful magic that everyone has infused onto their canvases, their rocks, their journals is so magical, right? Because it's you, it's coming from your heart. And always remember, the hearts are there for gentle care, right? They're there to remind you that the resistance is there to teach you something, and then you can just love on the other side of your canvas while you're feeling that. Just really, embrace both. Embrace all the feelings that these mandalas bring up and all the medicine they have to give. Receive it and know that I'm so grateful for all of you joining us. Thank you so much. It's just been a wonderful experience. And thank you, Whitney, for inviting me to be one of your guides on this 24-hour Paint Jam creative journey. Mwah.
Of course. Do you want to switch your camera so we can
see me?
You can say goodbye for the replay, and then I'll end the recording.
All right.
So much fun.
Hello, hello. All right. Goodbye, all you beautiful people out there in the world for the mandala. Thank you so much for joining me, and just so excited you're here. I can also put my links to my website and things in the chat, right? I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and if you're watching the replay, her links are below. Okay, end of the mandala. Stay tuned for Painting the 7 Laws of the Universe with Whitney Freya.
Yeah.
Up next.
We're doing all these little